Hey guys, so on this worksheet that we worked on today, we're starting to get into financial literacy. So we're starting to talk about taxes like sales tax, income tax, family budgets, stuff like that. On this one, the top half of this worksheet talks about sales tax. And then the bottom half, that talks about income tax. So on this first top half, I'm going to show you how to do two problems. I'll do 1 and 2. And then 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all exactly the same, so if you can figure out how I did 1 and 2, you'll be able to do 3 through 6 by yourself. Okay, number 1. We need to find the sales tax and the total cost of the sales tax on a $156 camera, with the sales tax being 7%. So the first step is to find sales tax, the actual dollar amount. Okay, you use that given the information in the problem, 7% and the cost of the camera. So the first thing you need to do is change the percentage into a decimal. So 7%. So right now that's just a 7. So you can think of the decimal being right here. The rule for changing percentages to decimals is you move the decimal 2 spaces to the left. So 1, 2. Anytime I have, I use these little bubbles like this. So anytime I have an empty bubble where there's no number inside that little bubble right here, like right here there's a 7 in this bubble, there's none in this one, I just write a 0. Then I rewrite my decimal here so it's no longer here, it's right here, and then I write a 0 right here. So 7% equals 0.07 as a decimal. Okay? Now we can multiply. What that multiplying does is it tells you what 7% of $156 is. Dollars is, sorry. So now we multiply. 7 times 6, 42. Just go through and multiply. It's 39. 10. Now remember, whenever you multiply by decimals, you have to go back in and add a decimal to your answer. How do you do that? Well, you need to add up all the decimal places that you have in the numbers that you multiplied. We have 0 and 156. That is a whole number. Right here we have 2. This 0 and this 7 is behind the decimal, so we have 2 decimal places. So we go 2 spaces to the left. 1, 2. So the sales tax is $10.92. So that's what you write right here. Okay? Now, to find the total cost. Now, you need to think about it like this. When you go to a store, you don't pay the cashier or the register the amount listed on the shelf if you were buying, a camera. You have to pay the store the cost that they charge for the camera, plus the sales tax that the state or the local government or whoever's charging that sales tax, whoever gave it to, made the tax, you have to pay them as well. So the actual cost or the actual amount of money that you're giving the store is going to be the cost of whatever it is you're buying, plus the amount of the sales tax that we just found. Or in any problem, if you find the amount of the sales tax, you just add it to the price, the original price of the object. So now we're just going to take 156, the cost of the camera, plus $10.92. Make sure whenever you're adding a number with a decimal, you line up your decimals. 156 didn't have, any decimal places, so I had to shift it over to the left so that the decimals line up. 29661. So the total cost is $166.92 after sales tax is added to the original price. So that's what we write right here for total cost. All right, solve number 1. Easy as that. I'll go ahead and do number 2, but it's not going to be very much different. So on number 2, It says 6.25% sales tax on a $175 television. So the first thing we need to do is find that sales tax. So I'm going to find, or first I'm going to change 6.25% into a decimal, into the decimal form. Right now it's in percentage form. So our decimal is no longer right in front of the percentage sign, it's right here. They actually showed it to us. We still go 2 spaces to the left. 1, 2. I've got an empty space right here, so I write a 0. My decimal, and we always write a 0 in front of the decimal point if there's no number there. So, 6.25% equals 0.0625 as a decimal. So now I know what I'm multiplying. So the original cost on number 2 was $875. Actually, you always want the number with the least amount of digits on bottom. So I'm going to keep 0.0625 up here and then multiply by 875. So there's quite a bit of multiplication and addition going on here. But they may ask you to do that on the STAR test, so it's important that you practice these long multiplications like this. I let you use calculators in class today because today was the first day, we were being introduced to this, but I expect you to pick this stuff up and eventually be able to do it manually without a calculator. Okay, so there's no decimal places in 875. That's just a whole number, but I have 4 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I know in the question it says, or in the bold at the very top it says round to the nearest cent if necessary. Okay. We know cents, that is the 100th place. So this is my 100th place. So I need to look at the number behind it. Any number at 5 or above will make this number in front of it, the number you're looking at, go up 1, or round up. If it's 4 or below, then it just stays the same. 7 is above 5, so this rounds up to 9. So sales tax is $54.69. Then as far as the total cost is, that's just going to be the price of the television plus the cost of tax. So $875.00 plus $54.69. So the original price plus the sales tax equals the actual amount that you're going to pay the register or the store. $929.69. And that is your answer for those. Okay? Okay, now I would not worry about number 11. We're just going to do 7 through 10. So I'm not going to actually work all of these because some of these are easy. I'll just give you a general outline, and you'll have to do the rest by yourself. Okay, so for number 7, number 7 says the Social Security tax is 4.2%. So the difference between income taxes and sales tax is income tax it's taxing the money that you make. So salary, wage, checks, whatever form of income somebody makes, the government's going to take money out of that to pay for who knows. They say it goes towards good things, but it's hard to tell sometimes. But anyways, you can find out how much that tax is by doing the exact same thing that we did up here. So they said the Social Security tax is 4.2%. Well, you might be asking, what is that 4.2% coming out of? On most of the math problems we do, it may say income, but it most likely will say gross pay, or it might even say wages in parentheses. That basically means income. So we're trying to find 4.2% of that income right there. So that's how you find the Social Security tax. Same thing with federal withholding income tax. You're going to find 15% of that person's income. And then you will fill in the blanks right here. Now on number 9, it says Cedric's net pay is his take-home pay after Medicare, Social Security tax, and federal income taxes are paid. So he was originally going to make this amount of money. That's what he's actually made. But after all these taxes are pulled out, this amount that he actually gets to take home to use for himself will be a lot less than what he originally made, or what he's supposed to get because of those taxes. You find the amount of those taxes, then you can subtract them, and that's what his net pay will be. So find these, fill them in here, and you'll add up all of these together. You want to add up all these taxes that are coming out, find their sum, and then subtract them from his gross pay. What's left is his net pay. Then on number 10, it asks, what percent of, go ahead and cross out number 11. On number 10, it says, what percent of Cedric's gross pay is his net pay? Round to the nearest tenth of a percent. So anytime they ask you to find, the percentage of two numbers compared together, or like what number is a percentage of another number, you have to write a fraction. They may ask you questions like that on the star. So they want you to compare the percentage of gross pay to net pay. The order is important because if they were asking you to compare net pay to gross pay, that would be a different percentage. So whatever comes first, whatever they want you to compare first, that's going to be your numerator. Okay? We know what gross pay is because it says it right here. It says it's $2,195. So I'll write that as my numerator. And then whatever they want you to compare it to is the denominator. We just found net pay. I just told you how to find net pay. So whatever you get right here is his net pay, and that comes right here. Okay? So you're going to divide the numerator by the denominator. You will get an answer as a decimal. You have to convert that decimal into a percentage. Now we're going the opposite direction of what we did when we converted percentages to decimals. Now we're converting decimals to percentages. So now we go, whatever number you get right here, you're going to go to the right with the decimal. And whatever number you get will be the percentage that you write right here. Now I can give you a hint. You can make an estimated guess. Think about it. His gross pay is what he was supposed to make before they subtracted all of these taxes right here. So the actual amount he's taking home is going to be less than what he was supposed to make. Okay, so taxes is money that's being taken away. So if the numerator is greater than the denominator, you're probably going to have a percentage greater than 100. We haven't really worked with percentages greater than 100, but now that we're, talking about financial literacy, you might see that occasionally. So if you get an answer that is below 100%, you probably need to double check your work. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching if you're watching, and study hard.